All right, here we go.
Okay,
I think you're good to go, Dennis.
okay, very good. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the June session of the Brighton Zoning Board of Appeals. Just give you just a couple of little notes here before we start. We have a fairly short agenda tonight, so the way we operate this meeting is that we go through the cases. When you're called, please announce yourself that you will be speaking for one of the cases. We'll let you make your presentation. Let us know why you think we should approve your application. Then the board members will ask some questions, and then we'll check to see if there's anyone on the call that wants to speak regarding your application. Once we finish that, we'll close the public hearing and move to the next one. We'll get through the 3 cases we have and then deliberate. So you're welcome to stay on, hear the deliberations. If you decide not to, you can call Rick DeStefano in the building office tomorrow and hear the result of your application. Okay, Rick, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Primo,
Here.
Ms. Tompkins Wright,
Here.
Mr. DeAugustine,
Here.
Mr. Mites,
Here.
Ms. McKay Drury,
Here.
Ms. Schmidt,
Here.
Ms. Schwartz. Please let the record show that Ms. Schwartz is not present.
Okay, Rick, was the meeting properly advertised?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, it was advertised in the Daily Record of May 26, 2022.
Okay, you stated earlier, for the record, the minutes are not available tonight for the April or May meeting, so we will do those in July.
Just for the record, I did receive a letter this morning from applicants regarding 5A0122, 5A0222, which appears old business, requesting adjournment to our next meeting. But we will not be hearing those applications, or we will not be dealing with those applications tonight.
Okay, so it's a continuous effort, eh? Okay, very good. Is there anything else you want to tell us about the 3 applications tonight?
I'll just make a statement that I'm not sure if people, if there's anybody in the audience that is here to hear anything regarding 3108 East Avenue. That property is not on our agenda, and we do not have open forum, so we will not be taking any comments or discussing that property at tonight's meeting.
Okay, very good. We will anxiously await it if it comes, right?
If it comes.
Correct. Okay, all right. So if there's nothing else, so the board members, nothing, we'll get started then. You can read the first application, please.
Application 6A0122, application Martina Brignani, owner of property located 11 Esplanade Drive for an area variance with section 207-2A to allow 6-foot high front yard fence in lieu of a maximum 3.5 foot high fence as allowed by code. All described in the application and plans on file.
Okay, and who would be speaking for this application, please?
Hi.
Hello?
We are present. So yeah, we're on a corner lot here.
Could you, folks, could you just do me a favor? Just name and address for the record, please?
Yes, I'm Martina Brignoni, 11 Esplanade Drive.
Okay. And there's someone else speaking too?
Yes.
Aaron Barley, I live here as well.
Okay, wonderful. Go ahead, please.
So yeah, we're looking to fence in the backyard. We're on a corner lot. There's the Council Rock Primary School behind us. From being on a corner lot, it's saying, you know, pretty much the code is saying that there's only a 3.5 high fence allowed on one side of the lot. That's on the Grosberner Road side. We're looking to have a 6-foot fence on that side. Basically, if you're looking at that map there, the allowed fence comes off the corner of the house on the left, bottom hand left side by the back patio, and you can go all the way up to the front of the house. We're just looking to block off the back portion, mainly because we have 2 toddlers, 2 and a 3-year-old, 2 dogs, and as far as supervision, it's a lot easier if we're not going around a corner there. We also have the school there by us, and just for privacy and people walking through, you know, by the yard, having that privacy there is nice as well. There's already bushes on that side of the road as well, so it won't really be a new barrier there. They're always, the neighbors across the street already looking at bushes there, and we did get approval from them to have a fence there as well.
Okay. All right. Board members, questions for these folks?
Can you please just give us an idea on the maps that you've provided, where the line of bushes are that you've mentioned? Is it right along Grosberner there?
Yeah, it's right along Grosberner. It's really in line with that side of the fence that we wrote that black line on. That's where all the bushes are there. And I don't know if you guys are allowed to share a video, but I have a video of that side of the house as well, if you did want to take a look at it.
No, I think Brendan, there's a couple pictures. Maybe we can look at the
Yes.
pictures.
Yeah, that'd be easier,
And
probably.
that might help. We can't allow you to share the
Yep,
screen.
no problem.
Yeah.
But
And
we can look at the picture.
Many of the board members have visited the site too, so, but let's see what Brendan's got he could put up.
All the way down, maybe, Brendan?
No, I do not have any pictures.
You don't have any pictures. Okay, maybe they were just, yeah, okay. Sorry about that. I thought we had some pictures in there.
Well, what, I think you could describe for the record what that cover is like. I saw it, but I don't want to.
Yeah, so if you're looking at the front of the house, the driveway front is what I'm referring it to as.
Yes, Esplanade side, yep.
Yeah, the right side of the home, if you go back and which somebody would think is the backyard, there's bushes all along that side of the right-hand side of the road. And then there's already a fence with the school right behind us. So we're just looking to fully fence that portion off.
Okay. Go ahead, Heather, did you have something else?
My only other question is, will the fence relating to the fence of the schoolyard, are you guys using that fence, and like, will it end exactly where that fence ends?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you.
And just for the record, that fence will be behind that row of bushes, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, any other questions by the board members? Okay, swell. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone on this call that would like to speak regarding this application? Okay, there being none, then the public hearing's closed.
Application 6A0222, applicators Sean Derrick, Home Power Systems Contractor, and Margaret Jones, owner of property located at 148 Monteroy Road, for an area variance in section 203-2.1B6 and 203-9A4 to allow standby emergency generator to be located in the side yard and move the rear yard behind the house as required by code. Also have an application and plans on file.
Okay, and who do we have speaking for this application? Is there anyone speaking for this application?
So I don't know who this was, but Ed just came up to me, and I guess someone came to the door asking for the Zoom meeting link, and so I just invited him. I don't know. That might be this person. I don't know
All right.
what's going on there, but
Well, what we could do, Rick, is go to application 6A03 and then come back.
Sure.
Okay, why don't we do that? We'll give them a few minutes to come on.
Okay, we will go to application 6A0322, application of Magic Seal LLC contractor and Megan Zimmer and Joseph Clark, owners of property located at 498 Clover Street, for an area variance in section 207-10E5 to allow a driveway expansion to be 2 feet from a side lot line in lieu of the minimum 4 feet required by code. I'll describe an application and plans on file.
Okay, and who do we have speaking for Clover Street?
Megan Zimmer at 498 Clover Street.
Okay, thanks, Megan. Go right ahead.
So yeah, so we have a single car driveway, and then before we moved in, there's kind of like a side space where you can fit one car. They put in wood panels and a bunch of rocks. So we're looking to pave that over and then expand it up. So it won't be a full double driveway, but enough right now. It's just hard having kids and the dog getting in and out on both sides, we would just like it to be a little bit wider.
Okay. Questions by the board members? Pretty straightforward, I guess.
Yeah, Ms. Zimmer, I was out, this is Ed Primo. I was out there today and talked to you.
Yeah.
So I think there's another drawing, if we could pull it up.
Yeah, there's a
second one?
better one that shows it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that
that-
shows it better.
So the gray area is the area you're going to pave in, correct?
Correct.
I mean, yes, asphalt down on. And there's a large tree, I think it's an oak tree,
Yes.
that's going to remain, and you're not doing anything to the oak tree.
Not doing anything oak tree, going around it to avoid roots.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all the questions I had.
Okay. Any other questions by any of the other board members?
This is member right. There are a few other homes in this neighborhood that also have this double wide at the front and not at the bottom, at the back of the driveway.
Yes. Yes, both of our neighbors. So if you look in this picture, you can see our neighbor has the same kind of thing we have where it's just the one on the side. Our neighbors to both sides on the opposite have the double at the end of the driveway. We had a lamppost there with electrical, so that's kind of, we were opting not to do that, so we didn't have to take the lamppost and electrical out.
Thank you.
All right, very good. Any other questions by any of the other board members? Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Is there anyone on the Zoom call that would like to speak regarding this application? Okay, there being none, then the public hearing is closed.
Okay, we'll go back to application 680-222. I'll read it again. Application of Sean Derecki, Home Power Systems Contractor, and Margaret Jones, owner of property located at 148 Monteroy Road for an area variance from sections 203-2.1B6 and 203-984 to allow standby emergency generator to be located in the side yard and move the rear yard behind the house as required by code. Also describe an application and plans on file.
Okay, do we have anyone available to speak regarding 6802?
Yes, this is Sean from Home Power Systems. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Okay, just give us your address for the record and then please proceed.
Sure. It's 148 Monteroy Road, Rochester, New York, 14618. The customer is Margaret Jones.
Okay,
Sean, that's your customer's address, correct? Not yours?
Yeah, the Home Power Systems address is 1127 Corporate Drive East in Farmington, New York, 14425.
Thank you.
that's what we need. Thank you. Okay, please go ahead.
So I apologize, the Zoom link doesn't seem to be working on my computer, so I apologize for that. So the customer is proposing putting the generator on the left side of the house as facing. The reason for that is they have a pool in ground in the back of the house and also a complete brick patio surrounding the entire back side of the property for the most part, and a wrought iron black fence, which makes it difficult to access the needed utilities to run to the generator and so on and so forth. The location we're proposing would be hidden by some shrubbery for the most part, and also there is a precedent for the location of the generator directly across the street where the homeowner of the property has a generator almost in the exact location, relatively comparatively speaking, to where we're trying to propose this generator location.
Okay. Can you tell us if that unit was placed there, what is the distance to the nearest house or property for the record?
I'm sorry, I'm not having a hard time understanding what you're saying. I'm gonna see if I can get closer to.
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
can try it again.
I'm sorry.
No
Yeah, I'm having
problem.
a bad connection. I apologize.
Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to understand because I've seen it, but just for the record, what's the distance from where that generator would be placed to the nearest structure?
Sure. So code is 5 feet from any penetration
Right.
to the house. That location would be beyond 5 feet. As far as from any penetrations of the house, it's definitely within code spec. We try to keep it as close as we can, but as far as codes, right at that 5 feet, just for working clearance and also for utilities to keep the cost down for the homeowner and the customer as far as running utility wires and also natural gas lines. So if it's permissible, we like to keep it within that 5 feet of code clearance just to achieve that purpose.
But I guess what I'm really asking though is how far is it to the nearest house? How far away is it? How many feet approximately?
Yeah. So I didn't measure from the proposed location to the next nearest home, but according to the pictures that I'm looking at on Google, it's at least 50 feet, if not more than that, from the nearest property. Yep.
Yeah. Well, you have a large lot there, so yes. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, very good. Okay, questions by any of the other board members, please?
Sean, what is the decibel rating for this unit?
So the decibel rating on that particular unit is it's 90 decibels. That's at the highest rating as far as usage. So that's at full usage, full RPM usage. So generally the RPMs of the generator will fluctuate according to how much load is put on that. So at the highest load, that unit's gonna be running at about 90 decibels, 89 to 90 decibels. It's a smaller, comparatively speaking, unit than it's a 14 kW. So the decibel rating on that, they're generally the same across the line, but with these smaller units, depending on the load that's put on them, they tend to be a little quieter than the bigger units generally run.
90 decibels sounds awfully high. That's
Yeah,
why
it sure does.
I'm curious.
Yeah,
Not for
I know
that.
that, and that's what. Yep, and that's what we think the same thing too. But it's funny because Generac, their decibel rating across the board is generally the same for each unit. So it's very close to a zero turn lawnmower. If you look at the comparable decibel ratings for, let's say, even a vacuum cleaner and a zero turn lawnmower, they're right along the same lines as far as the same.
Well, let me ask it a different way. Are you taking that rating right at the unit, or are you taking that rating at 23 feet away?
Correct. So that's the assumption. The Generac takes the rating right at the unit. So it's a good question. But they do take that rating. They have a facility that they put the unit in. It's a pretty amazing facility. I've been in it out in Minneapolis, and you walk in there, you can hear, it's funny, you can hear a pin drop across the other side of a 30-foot building. So they take all their ratings from inside that building. So it's kind of hard to gauge, you know what I mean? It seems as though that's a little bit stacked, if you ask me. Because if you're outside and you're in an environment where there's lots of other noises going on, achieving 90 decibels in an environment like that might be a little more difficult than in a building where it's a controlled environment.
Yeah, I just want to make the comment that per the spec sheet that you submitted and from where we look at the decibel rating from a code standpoint, we take it at that 23 feet. And according to the spec sheet, the decibel rating is 65 at 23 feet.
Well, that sounds more reasonable.
Yeah, the 90 decibels is at the unit.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll clear that up.
Yeah, we can address that too. Okay. All right. Any other questions by the board members, please? Okay, thank you very much. If there anyone on the Zoom call that would like to speak regarding this application. Okay, there being none, then the public hearing is closed. Okay. So let's get at it. Let's look at 6A01, which is Esplanade with the fence. Heather, this is your application. Does anyone have any objection to this application?
No.
Seems pretty straightforward. It's a tough little spot there. Okay, very good. Okay, Heather.
Okay. So I move that we approve application 6A0122 for an area variance to allow a 6-foot front yard fence along Grosberner Road in lieu of the 3.5 maximum fence allowed by code, based on the following findings of fact. One, the variance will not result in a substantial change in the character of the neighborhood. The school located behind the house already has a fence running along the distance of the rear lot line. Nearby properties in the area also do have fences. And installing the fence closer to the street will make it so that it is hidden by high bushes that are planted along that property line along Grosberner Road. Two, the difficulty cannot be resolved without the variance. To fence in the similar size yard without the variance, the homeowners would either have to wrap the yard around the home, creating blind spots and causing difficulty in supervising the homeowners to toddlers and dogs, or they would need to use a 3.5 foot high fence along that road, along Grosvenor Road, which will not keep their dogs and kids in their yard. Three, the variance is not substantial. It's an additional 2.5 feet of height along that single side of the fence. Four, the variance is the minimum necessary to grant relief because of the unworkability of the wraparound or lower fence alternatives. Otherwise, the homeowners are limited to a yard of a much smaller size. And five, the variance won't have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood. Of particular note, two neighbors that are most affected will be most able to see the closer fence, have written in and indicate their approval of the plan. It will be subject to the condition that it is limited to the application materials and the testimony provided in connection with the application.
And can we just add the second condition that all necessary building permits shall be obtained?
Sure. So second condition, all necessary building permits will be obtained.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second. Right.
Wonderful. That's a great sound, Heather. Okay,
The motion is to approve with conditions. Mr. Primo,
Aye.
Mr. DiAugustine,
Yes.
Mr. Mites,
yes,
Ms. Schmidt,
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins Wright,
Yes.
Ms. McKay Drury.
Yes.
Please let the record show the motion approves with condition.
okay, great.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Good luck with it.
Thanks.
Okay, Rick, when you're ready.
Ready anytime you guys are.
Yeah, all right. So the next application relates to Monteroy Road with the generator. Does anyone have any concerns about this?
Nope.
Yeah, it's a very large lot if you went by, and 50 feet is a long way. Okay, and I would agree with it's about that. Looks just about
I
that.
think it's actually a little larger than that.
Yeah.
Did a quick.
I thought it was close to 70.
all right.
Yeah, I got about 80.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is a ways away from that
Well,
house.
how about when I do it, I'll go with approximately 70. How's that?
That's fine.
Okay, all right, here we go. I move we approve application 6A0222 based on the following findings of fact. One, due to an in-ground pool and adjacent patio at the rear of the house, no suitable location can be found to meet the code in the rear yard. Two, the proposed location to place the unit on the side yard of the house is the most suitable location available on the property. And three, existing shrubbery will serve to mitigate the unit, and it will be approximately 70 feet away from the nearest residential structure. Conditions. One, all necessary building permits. Two, this variance is based on the testimony given as to the specific location and generator presented in testimony. You want to put the 65 just because of the discussion?
No, I think,
Generally, we don't. It needs
Yeah,
to
generally
meet
we
the code
don't.
to get a permit, so,
right.
okay. A second, please.
Second.
Thank you.
The motion is to approve with conditions. Mr. DiAugustine,
Yes.
Ms. Schmidt,
Yes.
Ms. McKay Drury,
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins Wright,
Yes.
and Mr. Primo,
Yes.
Mr. Mites.
Yes.
Motion to approve with conditions carries.
Okay. And then our last application is Clover Street for the
Thank you,
small
members.
driveway extension. Okay, and what are we thinking here? Any issue?
Wrote it up as an approval.
Okay, any
Yeah.
issue by any of the board members?
No.
No, it seems like a functional thing and there's a bunch of them over there with the narrower
Mhm.
driveway, so.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Ed.
I move we approve application 6A03-22 to allow the paved area of a driveway to be 2 feet from the property line instead of the 4-foot minimum required by code based on the following findings of fact. 1, the requested setback and area variance for a single-family home is a type 2 action pursuant to 6 NYCRR section 617.5 C16 and 17, and no review is required pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act. 2, the requested variance is the minimum variance necessary to address the benefits sought by the applicant. The existing driveway is narrow and does not allow 2 vehicles to be parked side by side. There is an existing stone parking area, but that is inadequate to address the applicant's family's need. Adding the paving to the other side would destroy the existing landscape and interfere with electrical lines to a lamp light. 3, no other alternative can alleviate the difficulty and produce the desired result. The variance is not substantial in the circumstances, and the paving is consistent with the neighboring driveway bump out, which is adjacent. 4, there'll be no unacceptable change in the neighborhood and no substantial change to nearby properties is expected. The bump out is consistent with the neighbor's driveway and other driveways in the area. The existing large oak tree will remain. 5, the hardship was not self-created by the applicant. 6, the health, safety, and welfare of the community will not be adversely affected by approval of the variance. The following conditions apply. 1, the variance is based on the application material submitted and only authorizes the paving as shown on the diagram entitled Proposal 498 Clover Street Driveway Replacement. 2, the existing large oak tree will be preserved. And Rick, I don't think there's any building permits, are there?
Well, let me just go back with the oak tree. The oak tree is a town tree, so they
Oh.
can't move it without town's approval, which we probably wouldn't give them approval for the removal of that tree.
Okay, well
I
then
don't
I'll
know if we
take
need
that off
to.
as a condition.
Yeah, I'll take it off as a condition, but I would add a highway permit because I do think the expansion will extend into the right of way. There's a fairly large right of way right there. So I believe that that pavement will extend into the right of way, in which they would need a highway permit. So
So the second condition will, is that the applicant will obtain all necessary highway permits.
Very good. We have a second?
Second.
Second.
Matt,
the motion is to approve with conditions. Ms. Schmidt,
Yes.
Ms. McKay Drury,
Yes.
Mr. Mites,
yes?
Ms. Tompkins Wright,
Yes.
Mr. DiAugustine,
Yes.
and Mr. Primo.
Yes.
The motion to approve with conditions carries.
Okay, very good.
That's it.
I think we've done it.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay, good luck. All right, so as Rick warned us, next month could be busy again, so do we have anybody that has any issue with the meeting next month? July, whatever it is?
I am tentative. I might be on a plane. during the meeting. Just a heads up. I'm working around it, but I might have to be on a plane. I'll let you know as soon as I know, Rick.
Will there
Yeah,
be
please
snakes
do.
on the plane?
I'm sorry?
Will there be any snakes on the plane?
No, but there's also no video conferencing on any plane I've been on. I've tried a couple of
No,
times.
it's difficult.
but
Yeah, no, that's really not. Well, why don't you let us know, at the 11th hour or whatever,
I will.
before you have to put it on airplane mode. Okay. Anyone else have an issue? Okay.
Okay, no.
Okay, great. Okay, very good.
Great.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. And,
Thank you,
Take
everybody.
care. Good night.
Thank you.
talk soon.
Bye.
Okay, bye.